Okay, nice. I'm actually excited for this one. All right, 2024 is over, and let's do what everybody else is doing, which is talking about my favorite albums of the year. You know, it's the Rock Live, so there's a lot of rock and metal, but there's a couple of different things. Hopefully, I can get you guys to listen to new music. A couple names here, and then I'll show you guys what I have in vinyl. First one is Absolute Elsewhere by Blood Incantation. I'm not a specialist in the band, but it's just the album just grips you because it's atmospheric. There's a lot of different things. It's jazzy, it's progressive, it's deaf, there's a lot of technical aspects. And again, I'm not a specialist in the band. I actually discovered the band on the last album, so I'm not gonna give you much how much they changed the sound, etc., etc. It's on a lot of people's lists, so I'm just gonna keep my explanation very, very simple. A band that used to be called Idle Hands, and they released 2 albums. They're from Portland, Oregon. They released 2 albums in the past 6 years. Really great albums. They're gothic, they have a little bit of post-metal, they're rock, and I'm talking about Unto Waters with Never Neverland. They definitely went more poppy on this album. Bigger chorus maybe, and you know, it's catchier. I think it's my favorite album of the band. I think it is, and I hope they become bigger than they actually are, because it's such a different band with so many different elements. They make the sound so unique. There's nothing really similar to Unto Waters and in the scene right now. So I'm glad they made this album, and I'm glad it's different, and I'm glad it's gonna go somewhere. One Step Closer, Our Embrace. It's a band from Pennsylvania, and I was really excited when they released not an album, a demo or EP back in 2020 or 2019. The first LP that they released, it was not as good as I thought it would be, but they're a very young band, so they changed the sound, and they made this album way more emotional. It's a mix of hardcore punk with emo, with post-hardcore, maybe metalcore as well, and the lyrics are powerful and the song is really powerful and it's really catchy. And again, I think they really achieved the potential on this one, and hopefully they get to do more in the future. The band from Tunisia, and you probably know what it is. It's one of my favorite power metal bands, which is Mirath. They released Karma, and if you know Mirath, they do a blend of Middle Eastern with prog power metal. It's such a unique sound, and it fits perfect how the band is and what the band does, and you can't go wrong with Mirath. Karma is just powerful. It's just awesome. More death metal. Let's talk about Neckbreaker, Within the Viscera. It's a very young Danish band. It's groovy, and at the same time it's such a punch in the face, but it's very technical for being such a young band. It just opens so many doors for the future. It's if you feel like you're missing something from the death metal scene, definitely check out a Neckbreaker, and definitely check out Within the Viscera. Judas Priest, Invisible Shield. Don't need to say much. Everybody already say everything about this album. It's just Judas Priest on the best form since maybe Painkiller. Now this one here, I found out 2 weeks ago, and one of those lists that you see throughout the year, and it's Sorcerer. Sorcerer. It's a band from France, and they released the debut album called Devotion. I don't know, it's goddamn, they're so good. They're so good because it's a hardcore with, you can see it's European hardcore, and I don't even know why it's a European hardcore, because it's hard to tell the difference. Damn, it's good. Go check it out. Grindcore, check out Brat, Social Grace. Definitely less grind, more hard, but it's still the core. It's a female vocalist. It's very, very good. Slowing down a little bit, we're gonna talk about Obscura Heo. It's an Australian band from Melbourne. Mix like punk with Baroque music. Definitely a very, very different mix, but it sounds really, really good. And I don't know why. I met the band this year with this album, and don't really know, I didn't have a chance to listen to the past albums, and I really, really dig it, and I definitely gonna try to listen to more. But it's soft, but at the same time it's heavy, you know? I'm gonna talk about Opeth, The Last Will and Testament. I don't have much knowledge about the band because I never really got into the discography, listened to stuff here and there. but The Last Will and Testament is definitely something that opened more doors for me to to kind of like find out and listen to more Opeth from the beginning. I know the band had so many different styles throughout their career. I think they started in the 90s and they changed it so much, which is, I love bands like that because every album you listen to is just a completely different outcome. Cartoon Darkness from the Amule and the Sniffers. Now imagine, let's think about the Stooges with a female vocal. It's very raw punk, and I love the attitude, and I think the live performance for this band must be incredibly insane. It's so I'm hopefully they come to the US at some point. I'm excited to see it. And this album is definitely something that make me go back and try to listen to more. Another death metal, True Hunter Stab Wound, Manual Maniac Procedures. Cover art makes me kind of sick, but the music is so good, so good. Riffs for days, man. Riffs for days. The first album they made is the second album. They're from Cleveland, Ohio, and the second one is just, this one is just even bigger and better, and everything is so, it's awesome. Maybe it's death metal. It is the best death metal album of the year, but it's just so metal. What an album. Well, I couldn't let it pass a happy 80s hard rock album from a Swedish band called Nestor. It's called Teenage Rebel, and they are from, I think, the 90s, and they got back, they reunite, they change some of the members, and they just come back with this big album that is just happy 80s rock, hard rock from the Sunset Strip kind of vibe, with Frontiers, even though it's not from Frontiers, it's from Nuclear Blast. It's just those kind of albums. It's just melodic, happy, and party. Sapphire Sun, it's a band from Chicago, debut album called Dreamboat to Nowhere, and they remind me a lot of Alice in Chains, but I'm happy to say that they just don't remind me of Alice in Chains. They sound, but they also have a unique sound and try to rip off, and it is the best Alice in Chains cover band I ever seen without trying to rip off, and it's just one of my favorite founds of the year, because I found this band randomly, and I got amazed how good they sound and how well the dynamic works and how good everything is put together. Prog metal doom band from London called Lowen. Do Not Go to War with Demons from Mazandaran. I think that's right. It's a debut album, and they have all those mix that I say with a female vocalist. Cover art is my favorite one of the year. Music, it's a prog-ish doom album with 36 minutes. It is the band that blew me away more this year, because I wasn't expecting to be that good. And there's a little things here and there, but it's just wild how good they sound with those mixes. It's definitely an album to check it out, and a band to keep an eye on it. The last one of the list here, without before the vinyls, Kalandra, A Frame of Mind, is Norwegian, Swedish. They have a couple albums already, and melodic folk rock with big riffs and ethereal melodies, and then the lady sings so well. Everything is just a dream and a trip. 100% an album that you can't choose a song out of it. You have to listen through the whole thing, because everything just one playing or the other, they just playing together, and then it makes sense. Right, I'll say two EPs from the year. Holy Blade with Holy Blade, hardcore, and Pest Control, The Year of the Past. Now, if I have to talk about a record, my favorite record of the year, EP, LP, it's definitely Pest Control, The Year of the Past. But unfortunately, the album is only 10 minutes long. 10 minutes long with four songs. Right, let's talk about the beauties I got on vinyl. Let's start with Not Loose, You Won't Go Before You Supposed To. Third LP from the band. The Not Close is just getting bigger and bigger, and then it is one of the biggest hardcore bands of all time. Definitely the biggest hardcore band at the moment. They are just exploding, and then this album, big, loud, heavy. It push some boundaries from what they done before. This vinyl version is just amazing with the color, and Knocked Loose is just knocking some asses right now. What a band, and what a moment for heavy music. Well, we got this band from Greece called Kirk. I'm not gonna pronounce what the name of the album is, but that's the second album of the band. They are a mix of Greek folk music with hard rock, with garage and stoner. I wish this band it's more known about it. This came straight from Greece, and I paid a lot of money for that. And I love this copy, and I ordered the first one as well. It's arriving very, very shortly. The two albums are amazing, and this band is awesome. Please check it out. Okay, Creeper, Dark Superstition, third album of the band. It is definitely my favorite death metal band. Oh, look how beautiful the mustache from Chase is. Wow. And it's definitely my favorite death metal band, blending with hardcore, heavy, sweet, powerful, groovy, everything that I want and need from a death metal band that does this style. Is just Gate Reaper. Cannot go wrong with it. Cannot go wrong with it. They change a little bit the sound from the past albums, but it's just, look how beautiful Chase is with the mustache. I'm getting one of those very, very soon, and hopefully mine can grow up like that. We're talking about my boy right now, Myles Kennedy, The Art of Letting Go, third solo album from the vocalist and guitar player from Alter Bridge. If you don't know where he's from, you probably know him from his contributions with Slash on Slash featuring Myles Kennedy and the Conspirators, plus Mayfield 4, plus everything else he does. He's one of the busiest guys on the planet, and he's just an amazing guitar player and vocalist and songwriter, and his solo stuff has a little bit of more acoustic and different vibe on it, but this one, The Art of Letting Go, it's definitely a little bit more hard and a little bit heavier, but it has its blends, and it's just, I love you, Myles Kennedy. Love you, Myles Kennedy. I don't know why people are not talking about Carnal from Nothing More this year, and it is just amazing alternative metal with melodies. It's definitely the best melody. Nothing More writes the best melodies and the best chorus. Is just so catchy. They're big, they're emotional, and at the same time they have the lyrics are amazing. And I don't know why I haven't seen Carnal in any of the lists that I saw from 2024. And this album, it is definitely one of my favorites. It's the one that I listen to the most for sure this year, just because the songs are so catchy and easy to sing along with. The melodies are just amazing. Now we're talking about the top one right now. We're talking about the biggest one, Charcoal Grace by Caligula's Horse. Caligula's Horse is a prog metal band from Australia. They are one of my favorite bands of all time, and I'm a little biased to talk about it, obviously, but they came to the US, and I was very happy to get a copy and talk to them for a little bit and watch them live for the first time. They just delivered Charcoal Grace after Rise Radiant in 2020. The band almost broke up. The band almost disbanded, and they almost stopped making music. And I'm so glad they did Charcoal Grace double album. Look how beautiful it is. Look at the color. Look at that. Wow, mwah. I love you, Charcoal Grace. I love you, Caligula's Horse. It is the band that does the best mix of heavy and soft melodies with the mix. Is just, I still blown away by this band and this album.
Alright, cheers. Hopefully you like the names. Let me know in the comments which album is your favorite from 2024. And I'll be back with more videos very, very soon, hopefully. I promise.